What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel for another nation-specific rebuild. The way I've taken a twist on these rebuilds recently, we will be trying to go into certain countries and only rebuild teams using players of that nationality. We've done Germany, we did it with Werder Bremen only signing German players, Malaga in Spain only signing Spanish players, and now we are Parma only signing Italian players. And now we move over to France. We are taking on the challenge of rebuilding Auxerre, a former Ligue 1 winner, using only French players. How do you think this is going to go, guys? I'm very intrigued right off the bat. Let me know down in the comments. I will also want to say happy Christmas to everybody who is watching this on the day it comes out or in and around that festive period. If you're watching this in a few months' time, you're going to be like, Steve, what you on about? I understand. At the time of release, this is coming out on Boxing Day 2021, so just want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. And before we get into things, if you enjoy these rebuilds, please do drop a like on it down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Let's dive into this rebuild. So guys, as I said, Auxerre, a former Ligue 1 winner. They won it in 1996. They are a four-time winner of the Coupe de France. These are the long-term goals and the aspirations. This is why we took over Auxerre, because they actually do have history, whereas a team like Paris FC, whilst trying to get them to overthrow PSG, will be a very, very good challenge. I don't think that criteria is just right for a rebuild, if that makes perfect sense. So we've gone in and we've taken charge of them, and as I said, former league victors, the best team in France. They were relegated in 2011-2012, as you can see on screen, and then they've been battling it out in the second tier of France for quite a while, to be honest, ever since, with their best finish work coming last season, where they finished 6th in real life. So there is some pressure. They will be expecting stuff, but naturally we can only sign French players in this, so it's going to be a bit of a task. In terms of season 1, obviously I've not made any signings. All of the signings that are here already were all done prior to me arriving, but we're just going to go through and see what we can do. Obviously there's some good players in this squad already for that second tier. We go in and take a look at some of the players. As you can see there, they've got two 4-star players, which is fantastic. They've got some good players with good potential as well, a couple of 5-star players in there, and I've noticed this from working in France previously. Some of the Academy Wonder Kids that come through are very, very special, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. In terms of the tactic, we are running the Fm22 the Bane formation, just to give it a little bit of airtime. We've done a video on this on the channel. Please go check it out. It's a very good one. Gareth's amazing tactical genius. It's a good little formation. I think it'll do quite well with this one. In terms of what is expected from us, we will go into the club vision and expand it here, so that you guys can see it even easier. The idea is to develop players using the club's youth system. Well, with that, we're only going to sign French players as well, so I think those two things go kind of hand in hand. Increase the commercial revenue and work within the wage budget. These are ongoing and part of the club culture. End of this season, they want to win promotion from Ligue 2 and reach the 10th round of the French Cup. And I know that sounds like a lot, but there's a lot of rounds in the French Cup, which a majority of teams don't get involved in unless you're much further down the pyramid. Develop Ligue 2's Ligue 2's is the develop the best youth system. I don't understand this one. Develop the best youth system in a league that you're trying to get out of. Anyway, they want to continue look to build on promotion to the top division in France, but also whilst maintaining that sort of, you know, promotion of youth, I guess, which does make sense. But the main goal, getting out of the division. There are some teams in here that have been up in that French top flight. There are names here that I do recognize, but the main one that I am worried about is Toulouse. I think they were again another team that we could have looked at to see if we could have rebuilt Toulouse, but we wanted to go with Auxerre because I believe they've won the league, and I don't remember if, yeah, Toulouse haven't, so that is why. So we are in the French second division. As you can see, it's all done alphabetically, but in terms of that season preview, we are 5-1 to win the division. We aren't really expected to get promoted according to the bookmakers, shall we say. In some good company, Toulouse, Dijon and Nîmes, I believe is how you say those. I'm sure I will get corrected if it's not. So we will be trying to get promoted, but as I said, it could be a difficult task. I'm going to simulate season 1. I'll see you at the end of the season. So guys, end of season 1, and it is promotion. We are promoted as champions, 83 points for Auxerre. Toulouse coming in second with 79 points, and it is Nîmes who get promoted out of the playoff. It was themselves, Dijon and Le Havre in that playoff. Remy Dugamont coming in with 29 goals in that league, 30 goals in 36 games in all competitions. Looks like a decent little forward, but unfortunately he is 35 years of age, so probably won't be extended beyond his current contract. We got knocked out in the 9th round of the Coupe de France, which is annoying. The board were not happy with that, but the main goal was to get promoted from the league. So we go into the French top flight, which is fantastic. And if we have a look at the club vision, because of that, they're happy. They are basically happy. There's a few more things that have been added to the club culture, which is sign players under the 23 for the first team, defensively solid football, play direct football, and play counter-attacking football. Not really what this tactic is set up for, but that's by the by. We are working within the wage budget, which again is an ongoing thing. And next season, they want us to fight bravely against relegation. Because we have been promoted, we do have a little bit of cash at our disposal, for just under 4.9 million to spend. I'm not really sure how I'm going to spend that just yet, remembering we can only sign French players, so it's going to be interesting to see what does happen. Out of curiosity, who was relegated out of the French league? So Nîmes beat Stade Rennais. I think that's how you know Stade. I don't know. They beat this team, and there is 3 teams that get relegated, because what happens is they go into a playoff and they play the team in our division and the team in our division 1, so they go into the French top flight as well. It's a very complicated system, much more complicated than what happens here in England. So this is going to be the league next season. Obviously, PSG dominate, 88 points for them. So I imagine they're only going to go from strength to strength, really. I'm going to get my head down and take a look at things over the course of the summer. And fingers crossed we can bring in some real good French talent to bolster this side for our first return back to the French top flight. So then, transfer update for season number 2. We've made a few signings. They are all free transfers. I've been trying to sort of balance the books a little bit and keep things as positive as possible, but we don't really have that reputation to attract these sort of elite French talents. Denis Bain is coming as a centre back, good central defender, bolstering that defense a little bit better. He's relatively young compared to some of the other centre back options that I did have. Nice sort of value on him, very nice physically, pretty good mentally, and okay technically as well. Obviously, when he comes up against people like Mbappe and stuff, if he's still there, he's going to get shredded. We signed a new goalkeeper as well, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, is how I'm going to say that. It's probably not that. A massive improvement on my current goalkeeper, much better reflexes, good handling, positioning, etc. His physicals are a little bit lackluster. I'd like him to be a little bit quicker, but especially as he's playing as a sweeper keeper. But as you can see on the right hand side in the player comparison, it's definitely a step up from my former goalkeepers last season. We also signed this guy, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is how I'm going to say this guy's name. He's can play central midfield, can play defensive midfield, slightly lacking a little bit in the mentals, but everywhere else he seems relatively solid. And again, it is a little bit of a step up. There have been some players who have left for free as well. No money has changed hands this time around. We've still got that 4.8 million. Maybe I can use it in January if it looks like we're going to be safe. In terms of the competitions, Ligue 1 and the Coupe de France, we enter in the 9th round. They only want us to get to the 10th round, and they want us to fight bravely against relegation from this division. You know what we always do, first season back in the top flight. Let's have a look. 400 to 1, guys. So this is going to be interesting, isn't it? According to the media as well, the best team in the division, and all the players, the best 11 players in the division are all from PSG. So let's have a quick little look at PSG. and see who we've got in here, just out of curiosity. Donnarumma, Ramos, Marquinhos, Kimpembe, Nuno Mendes, Weigl, who they've signed, which is interesting. Obviously Messi, Neymar, Barbosa. So it looks like Kylian Mbappe has gone, which is good for the division. Where has he gone? He's gone to Barcelona. How have Barcelona been able to afford Kylian Mbappe's wages? Interesting. Okay, well, we're 400 to 1 to avoid that relegation. And in terms of the board expectation, as I said, they want us to sort of fight bravely against relegation. They're happy with certain signings, but also very unhappy with other releases of players. They are devastated that I've not signed players under the age of 23. So I guess that's something I'm going to have to work on. First season back in the French top flight. Let me know down in the comments, am I going to survive in my first season? And ultimately, let me know how far you think we can take this team. I'll be back at the end of the season. So then it's the end of season 2 and we've done very, very well. We have finished in 9th in League. Let me just expand the table for you so you can see things a little bit better. PSG crowned champions, 106 points, didn't lose a game all season. They had 4 draws, twice against Monaco, 1 against Marseille, 1 against Strasbourg. The team's nutty good. They scored 116 goals. We finished in 9th though. They did expect us to finish rock bottom. Montpellier, who we did a bottom at Christmas challenge with, relegated down into the French 2nd tier. But we finish inside that top half, which is really, really nice. 16 wins, 4 draws, 18 losses. We did have a -8 goal difference, so there is definitely still some work to be done here. But if you look at the 83 goals that we conceded 7 against Lille, 7 against PSG, 5 against Monaco, 5 against Lyon. You can see how these sort of start adding up over the course of the season. Did we get any impressive victories? We beat Lille at home. We beat Marseille away. That's actually 2 quite nice victories for teams that are above us. So there is some real work to do. And I'm hoping that now we finished inside the top half of the French league, we can actually start attracting that French talent. In terms of money though, we've spent a little bit and we've kind of shifted stuff around because obviously I don't know if you guys can see that because of it being light grey. We're only getting 70% of transfer revenue until we've made 50 million. So that could be interesting. In terms of some of the, I know you guys like looking at some of this stuff in terms of some of the development and stuff. Let's have a look. We have had some 5-star potential players coming through. Daniel Diaz is one. He looks like he could be okay. He's got good reflexes and good determination, so you never know. He's still only 17 years of age, so he could get a little bit better. Chris Cohen, for some reason, we've had an American through the youth intake. He, again, looks relatively decent. His contract's up, but I think I'm going to offer him a new deal because he could maybe, by the end of this, get into the starting 11. Again, Idoa, another one here, a 5-star potential prospect. Perno is from the latest batch. He is a target forward, despite being 179 centimeters, so he's shorter than 6 feet for you guys in the UK, but wants to be a target forward. And then obviously we've got this other guy here. Merle is how I'm going to say this guy's name. He looks okay, but again, very, very young at present. But as I said, good academies in France produce very, very good players. We're going to go out and sign some people. I hope a lot of people, because this squad is going to need it going into season number 3. So then guys, transfer update for season number 3. As you can see, we've had 5 outgoings again, 4 on free transfers and 1 as a loan. Again, not really recouping any cash, which is relatively frustrating. But as you can see on the other side of the coin, we've not actually spent a huge amount either. We've signed Charles Abdi from Saint Etienne for 575k. I think he's an improvement on my strikers. Obviously, as I said, the strikers that we did have were very much at the end of their careers. I'm hoping Charles Abdi can come in. He's 23 years of age. I'm sure he's hungry to prove himself. He's got nice physicals, very strong left foot. Can play in a couple of different spots as well if we need to change things up. But ultimately, I think Abdi is a good pickup. Julien Laporte comes in as a central defender from Lorient. They were relegated, so we went in and acquired his services. He was unhappy with things there. Again, nice little value on him should we ever get some interest. In terms of his technicals, mentals and physicals, I think he's very well rounded whilst not being anything spectacular. Tristan Dignom is maybe how I'm going to say that name. He's kind of a utility man again. Solid, but not spectacular. He's a little bit older, but covers a lot of positions. Again, strength in depth is always very, very good in Football Manager. Claudio Gomez comes in on a free transfer from Manchester City. Has the potential to be very, very good. Not quite at the level I'd need him to be just yet, but I'm hoping with some football here, there and everywhere, he can actually get in and do a job. As you can see, he's bounced around on loan a couple of times. That one season at Barnsley where he played all the games in the Championship was very, very good, but the following year didn't really capitalise on that with games for Manchester City. I'm going to come back to issmael and Wilson. Isidore is how I'm going to say this guy's name. Another forward. Again, he can play in a couple of different positions, offering us a little bit. He's 22 years of age, so could get marginally better, but as you can see, not really racking up in terms of some of the other talents in the squad. Now, Ismail Ba, we've got him in on loan from Paris Saint-Germain. He is a new gen, so obviously unique to my save. He's quite good. He's 17 years of age, relatively well-rounded in terms of his technicals for his age, very, very nice mentals, and pretty good physicals. I genuinely think he can offer quite a lot to this team at 17 years of age. He's come in on agreed playing time as a regular starter, but look at that value, 41 to 59 million is a lot for a 17-year-old. He's already played 23 times for PSG. I just wanted to get him in and give him loads of game time, basically. I think he can help us, and I'm very intrigued to see how he can develop over the remaining few seasons of this rebuild. So we go into the competitions. Again, it's the same two competitions, no European competitions because we're not anywhere near that good. In Liga, they expect us to avoid relegation and they want us to reach the 11th round in the French Cup. We've not really been very, very good in the French Cup, I must admit. In terms of this league competition, though, we are here. Obviously, PSG are PSG still. In terms of the season preview, we were 450 to 1, I believe, last season. Now we're only 300 to 1, but we are still expected to be in those relegation places, which is not nice to see at all. They think Strasbourg are going to struggle because of Champions League football. And if you've noticed, guys, there are some different players in this Media Dream 11. Hassim Aouar has made it in from Lyon, and Bouadou has gone to Monaco, so is now the striker of choice in the Media Dream 11. Surprisingly, not one of our strikers. So this is going to be a tough season, as I think they are all going to be. I'll be back at the end of it. So guys, we are back at the end of the season and it's not been a very, very good one. We finished in 15th. We avoided the relegation playoff, which Marseille actually do find themselves in. So we avoided that one by 10 points, but finishing in 15th is a bit of a drop off from where we were last year. Remember, we were in that top half of the table last time out. 11 victories, 6 draws, 17 losses, minus 25 in terms of that goal difference as well. Not very good. I think ultimately defensively we're just not where we need to be. We scored 48 goals in the division, which is up there sort of with teams like Strasbourg and stuff like that, so we could have got a lot higher, but we conceded 73, including 10 against PSG over the course of the 2 games. So that is something that we really do need to work on. We aren't relegated. It's another year in that French top flight, so I'm hoping we can move forward a little bit. We got into the 11th round of the French Cup this time around, but Montpellier dispatched us relatively comfortably. Abdi, very good return for him. 26 goals and 2 assists in 36 appearances in all competitions. Good. Was actually pleasantly surprised with his return, his goal return. Relatively ropey in terms of season though. In terms of the finances, we've got a little bit more money. It's what happens when you stay in some of these top flight leagues. You do start getting a little bit more money. I also think I've been pretty sensible in terms of my wage budget and how I've been looking after that one as well. So we've got just under 13 million, 12.8 million to spend on players. Obviously, we're only going to sign French players. I just need to give you that as a reminder each time around. But it's going to be a big season. Lots of changes need to happen, I think. I'll see you after the summer window. Transfer update for season number 4, and I have to go back because we made a signing very early. Obviously, Marseille were in that playoff last time we checked in, they actually got relegated, which is crazy. So I went in and Jordan Amavi was fuming that they got relegated, so we managed to pick up Jordan Amavi to come in and play left back for us for £2 million, which I thought was quite cheap. I think he's solid. Yes, he's 30 years of age, but he is a 4-star current ability player. So I think he will really improve us in that sort of position. So we spent some money on him, 2 million on him, but that was done early doors. In terms of other deals, we sold players for 275k. Claudio Gomez has gone, again, not really. The guy we got in from Man City didn't really cut the mustard, especially with having 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, who we've renewed for another season, the new gem from PSG. So we signed this guy, Andrew Gravelon, another central defender. I said we needed reinforcements in these defensive positions, so we've gone and signed him. He was a free transfer from Lens. Nice physicals, good jump and reach, nice and tall. I think he could be a decent cover option for us. As I said, strength in depth is massive in FM, so that is what we are looking for, especially in these rebuilds. We've signed Arnaud Kilimundo from PSG. He was released. He's valued at 8.6 million to 9.4 million. Despite never kicking a ball for me, he's done okay for the PSG second team. 30, you won't be able to see it. Let me expand that. He's done okay for their second team. 16 goals in 27 appearances last time out, 7.23 rating. I thought, why not? I saw he was being released, so I thought, why not bring him in? I think him and Abdi as the front two can actually play off each other quite nicely and score a decent number of goals. Chotard has come in from Montpellier, and another sort of versatility player in that central midfield, because we let the guy from Man City, Gomez, go. Brought another one in. Dennis 𝘼𝙗𝙪 is coming in as a right back for us. Another option, depth again. Depth, isn't it? And then we spent some money, 5 million, on 𝘼𝙗𝙪𝙩, who was at AC Milan and transfer listed. So I thought, let's bring him back to France. I want him to be my creative midfielder. I just want him to be the source of everything that we do, and he's definitely capable of it. Fantastic hair, which I'm slightly jealous of. The former Bordeaux player transferred to Milan and looks like he's not really played. So they bought him in the first season for 8.5 million, loaned him back to Bordeaux, and then since then he's just kind of sat in Italy and not really done anything. So we've brought him back. 𝘼𝙗𝙪𝙩, I'm very happy to sign a player of his quality. I'm hoping it can do us really well. In terms of the league, they want us to fight bravely against relegation again. The expectation with this team is very low. Reach the 11th round of the cup, which is where we got to last year. In terms of things though, Ligue 1, where do they think we're going to finish this year? It was 300 last year. It's still 300. They still think we are not going to get that much better. PSG are 1 to 2 on to win the league again. No real surprises there. I think we could be a surprise package though this year. I'd like to think we wouldn't be scrapping it out in that potential relegation playoff. I've just noticed Phil Foden is now a PSG player, which is quite scary. He looks very good, doesn't he? Phil Foden, age 24. I've also noticed that they've said that Messi's a central midfielder now. I've seen PSG convert players like this before. I've seen them convert Harry Kane to a central midfielder, and it worked quite well for them. Still Messi, isn't it? He's still going, age 37. So that is the sort of season preview. In terms of things, the finances are okay. I've shifted a lot of it into the wage budget because we've signed a lot of good players. I'm hoping we can have a good season, guys. I'll see you at the end of it. So last year we were almost scrapping it out in the relegation playoff. This year we finished in 6th and have qualified for the Europa Conference League. We've got 52 points, which is a solid return. I think it's our best points return so far. Let's expand the stages and let's have a look at stuff. So we got 52 this year, season before 39, first season in the division. We got 52 again, so it is our joint best return, but we are into the Europa Conference League this time around. We finish in 6th. Bordeaux are a team that are in crisis at the moment. They have been relegated. PSG win the trophy again. Not as convincingly as they have done. Monaco pushing them all the way. 76 points for Monaco, 77 for PSG now. But we qualified for the Europa Conference League, which I think ultimately in our last season is frustratingly going to cost us. I wanted us to try and push on and get into the Champions League spots, but I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna happen with the European competition as well. 15 victories, 7 draws, 12 losses. Much better, much tighter. We've got a positive goal difference for the first time since being back in the top flight. 64 goals scored, 48 goals conceded, with that positive 16 goal difference. I'm very, very happy. Although, as I said, I think the European competition is going to cost us. In terms of the finances, we've got 5 million to spend. We've now only got 70% of transfer revenue made until 72 million has been made, which is crazy. I wanted to just show you, where is 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪? 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, he's right at the top. This is the guy we got in on loan from PSG. He's still here. He's staying again for the 5th and final season because PSG aren't going to play him. So he's still 18 years of age and he's going to stay for another year. I think he looks brilliant. He's growing so well as a ball-winning midfielder, defensive midfielder, anchor. He's just good. 4 stars, aged 18, still valued at an absolute mint. So he is luckily staying for yet another year. In terms of everything though, there's quite a lot of players that are unhappy at the club. Lots of people want to leave to play more. Some of the ones that we have signed previously. So we're going to have to do some business in the summer. It's going to be a big one. Season 5, European football. I'm not fully convinced. I think this is going to go quite badly. So I said quite a lot of people were unhappy in the dynamic at the end of last time. So I've had to make a lot of moves here. We sold 1.1 million's worth of players. As you can see, there's a list of people here who we have signed that are now outgoing. Most of them on smaller fees. Gravelon, who we brought in, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 who we brought in, Laporte, who we brought in from Montpellier, has gone back to the... Was he from Montpellier? Was from... he's from Lorient. Anyway, he's gone to Montpellier. So we brought a lot of people in and ultimately shipped them out. They've done their job for us. They can move on to the next stage of their career. We've improved quite considerably at centre-back, I would say. We brought in Willy Saliba from Arsenal, 13.25 million. Some of that is in installments, guys, but I think he's brilliant. He really helps us, like infinitely helps us. He's had like seasons on loan into France previously in his career. Obviously Arsenal paid 27 million for him from St Etienne. He played a bit there. He's been on loan to Nice where he played 20 games. He's been on loan to Marseille, and then he's just sat for Arsenal and not played. So I wanted to get him in and get him playing some football. I've definitely seen Saliba develop a lot more than this with more game time, but unfortunately in this particular instance he hasn't. We've also signed Maverick as well. Another sort of new gen coming out of St Etienne. He spent last season on loan at Paris FC. Again, I needed someone to play on that sort of left hand side for us, and he's fast and he's tricky and he runs down the ball with the left hand side and he can cross it at a decent level. So I thought he could be a good option for us. Competitions wise, Europa Conference League, we enter in the 4th qualifying round, which is going to be tough. Oh, you got my Red Star in there. I love you, Red Star. You still got Bojan. What are you doing, boys? Anyway, they really don't want to be in this competition. Anyway, French Cup, again, 11th round. Avoid relegation in the Ligue 1 Uber Eats. In terms of that season preview, we are still 300 to 1 to win the league. Those odds haven't really improved, which I don't know if that's down to me not building a good team or what's happened really. Marseille are back in the division. They were promoted last season and they've already got odds of 50 to 1. That's probably because it is Marseille. Some of the eagle-eyed among you may have noticed Jadon Sancho is now a PSG player as well. Just out of curiosity, how much money did they spend? 109 million for Jadon Sancho. This is starting to look very PSG and Monaco based, as they've signed Youssef Demir Bouadou and Badiashile is still there knocking in headers, I'm sure. So we are 300 to 1. We've got the Europa Conference League. I think it's going to go badly. But I'm hoping with Saliba in that defense we can kind of sort of push on and tighten up even more. We had the first season with a positive goal difference last time out. I'm hoping the 5th and final season we don't disgrace ourselves in Europe and we have a final good flourish in that French division. I think it's going to be difficult to overtake either Monaco or PSG. I don't quite see it. Maybe this will be a longer term thing for some of you guys, but let's see what happens. Well, This didn't go to plan at all. We finished in 14th, so we are above that relegation playoff, and we are comfortably above that relegation playoff, but we've gone back into the negative goal difference. We have a goal difference of -8, 10 victories, 9 draws, 15 losses throughout the course of the season, and a much worse performance. And annoyingly, I can't even blame it on Europe, because we got knocked out in the 4th qualifying round against Ghent, losing that one 2-1. Just didn't really have it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I thought Saliba would have really helped this year, but as you can see, that form towards the end of the season is really bad, isn't it? Lots of losses in a row. Nantes, Nice, Saint-Etienne, Lyon, Montpellier. These are all games that we should be looking to win if we were looking to try and do anything in the division. And ultimately, season 14, it's just not worked for us. In that French Cup, we got into the 10th round. They wanted us to get into the 11th round, but we didn't. We got knocked out. So ultimately, season number 5, very disappointing. The club is in a much better state. We've got 3 million to spend next season, but for some reason our overall balance has just dramatically dropped, and I don't really know why. From memory, we've got a little bit of debt, but it's not the end of the world. And I'm not really sure where that's come from this season. What are we spending loads of money on? Player wages, staff wages, tax. We're spending less than last season on wages. Last season 46 mil, this season 41 mil. Like we're trying to tighten things up, guys. What's going on? Why are we now in the negative money? Just one player I need to touch on. I said I'd show you Bar at the end. As I said, he's been here for another season now. Again, rounding just that little bit more. Looks very good. His anticipation has gone up. His mentals are very good. He's good on both feet. He is a wonder kid now. Great balance, good physicals. He's just the real deal. He's only 19, and I think he might go back and falter a little bit at PSG, because he's gone on loan to us for 3 years in a row, and he's played almost 30 games in each one of those seasons in the league. I think unfortunately now he's going to go back and sit in PSG's squad and just sort of sit there and not really do it. Charles Abdi, again, top goal scorer. Willy Saliba, the highest average rating for us in the league, but annoyingly season 5 wasn't to be with Auxerre. If you guys want to get your hands on this save and see if you can do better than I did over the next 5 years, see if you can take them back to a league title, join the Discord. There is a thread in the Discord for my rebuilds. You can find all the rebuilds that we've done recently in there as save files, so you can go in and take over and see what you can do. Let me know. I would be very interested to see what happens. Let me know in the comments as well who you would like to see me do next. I've kind of gone around the main leagues and sort of rebuilt them using players of that nationality, so I'd be very intrigued as well to see who or what you guys would suggest for the next rebuild. If you have enjoyed this one, don't forget to drop a like on it down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, and until next time, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you on another one very soon.